Welcome back to The Explainer. Listen, if you're watching this, there's a really good chance you are balancing a completely packed schedule. You know the drill, right? You're firing off emails, sitting through endless meetings, grabbing whatever lunch is fastest, and just try to keep the whole machine running smoothly at the office. And honestly, in the middle of that corporate grind, it is so incredibly easy to put your own health on autopilot. But today, we're going to hit pause. Think of this explainer as a quick, supportive coaching session specifically for you. We're going to tackle a silent health threat that absolutely thrives in busy, high-stress environments: prediabetes. It's completely invisible from the outside, but as you'll see, the power to reverse it is entirely in your hands. Okay, let's dive right into this. According to Dr. Arjun, who has extensively researched this condition, there's a staggering statistic we need to talk about. 88% of people who have prediabetes have absolutely no idea they have it. Stop and let that sink in for a second. Almost 9 out of 10 people living with this condition are just walking around, totally unaware. There are no obvious symptoms, no blaring alarms going off. There's literally nothing on the outside telling them that anything is wrong with their metabolic health.
I mean, it begs the question, right? Are you in that 88%? It's incredibly easy to dismiss something when you can't feel it. When you have zero outward symptoms, you naturally assume you're perfectly fine. You think, well, I feel okay, so my body must be okay. But honestly, that assumption is exactly what makes prediabetes such a silent threat. And we aren't just talking about the eventual risk of getting full-blown type 2 diabetes later on. This silent phase matters significantly for your cardiovascular health right now. It is quietly elevating your heart risks in the background while you are just trying to power through your workday.
Inside the warning zone. To really grasp why this is happening, let's quickly look at the actual physiology of what's going on behind the scenes.
Now, what's really interesting about this definition is that prediabetes simply means your blood sugar is higher than normal, but it hasn't crossed the line to be classified as diabetes. Dr. Arjun actually calls this the warning zone, and I love that framing, because a warning is an opportunity, isn't it? It's not a permanent life sentence, it's just a physiological tap on the shoulder. It's like you haven't crashed the car, you've just drifted onto the rumble strips on the side of the highway. It's a completely manageable state if you know what to look for.
To put that into perspective, let's contrast these two states. In a normal blood sugar state, your body efficiently processes the energy from your food. But in the warning zone, things are getting strained. Think of your pancreas like that one incredibly dedicated, overworked team member at your office. For years, when your blood sugar runs high from work stress, terrible sleep, or those quick convenience meals, your pancreas quietly pulls all-nighters. It pumps out more and more insulin just to keep your blood sugar numbers looking relatively normal on standard tests. Your body is quietly compensating, and that pancreas is working overtime, which is exactly why the whole thing stays completely silent for so long. Section 3. 3 subtle warning signs. So how would you actually know if your pancreas is pulling these internal all-nighters? Let's look at the clues.
Sign number 1 is increased thirst and frequent urination, especially at night. If you find yourself constantly downing water at your desk, or if you're suddenly waking up at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, your first instinct is probably to blame your coffee habit or that massive iced tea you had at lunch. But actually, this is a classic sign of your kidneys working overtime to flush out excess sugar in your blood. It's a very subtle clue that your body's filtration system is under some serious metabolic stress. Moving to sign number 2, fatigue after meals. We all know that 2 p.m. office slump, right? You grab a quick, carb-heavy takeout lunch, maybe a wrap or a big bowl of pasta, and an hour later, you can barely keep your eyes open during a Zoom meeting. It's so common we even joke about being in a food coma. But profound fatigue right after eating, particularly after carbs, is actually a medical symptom. It's a sign your body is struggling to efficiently move that glucose from your bloodstream into your cells so you can use it for energy.
And then there's sign number 3, which is one you might actually see visually. Slow healing cuts or weird skin changes. Say you get a paper cut from the office printer and it just lingers for weeks instead of healing up in a day or two. Or maybe you notice these darkened, almost velvety patches of skin, usually around the neck or armpits. The medical term for this is acanthosis nigricans. I know, it sounds a little intimidating, but it is simply a physical manifestation of high insulin levels. Those slow healing paper cuts or darkened skin patches, they are literally your body's subtle cries for help.
Getting the A1C test. Okay, so we have awareness, now we need to shift to action, because early detection is absolutely your best defense here.
Dr. Arjun advises, ask your doctor for the A1C test at your next visit. And this brilliantly illustrates a key difference in medical testing. See, a standard fasting blood sugar test is just a quick snapshot. It only tells you what your blood sugar is at that exact second on a Tuesday morning. But the A1C test, that measures your average blood sugar over the past 2 to 3 months. It gives you the complete picture. It shows what's happening on the weekends, after those highly stressful meetings, and late at night. It is the definitive way to see if you are actually in the warning zone.
Your reversal action plan. So the absolute crucial point is this. If you do find out you're in that 88%, don't panic. You've got this.
Seriously, let this number validate your ability to change. 58%. According to data from the CDC's Diabetes Prevention Program, making consistent, realistic lifestyle changes can reduce your progression from prediabetes to diabetes by up to 58%. That is a massive reduction in risk. It proves you are completely in the driver's seat. And the best part? The lifestyle changes that get you there are surprisingly manageable.
Let's break this down like a coaching session and contrast that old corporate grind with some new, highly achievable microhabits. For instance, instead of finishing your lunch and immediately hunching back over your keyboard, the new tweak is a 10-minute brisk walk right after you eat. Your old habit of grabbing a massive carb-heavy takeout lunch every day? The easy tweak is just reducing refined carbs at one single meal a day. Maybe swap the wrap for a salad with some solid protein. And instead of sacrificing your sleep just to catch up on emails, actively prioritize your sleep. Why? Because sleep deprivation directly spikes your blood sugar.
Okay, let's reiterate these 3 CDC-backed tactics so they really stick. Number 1, a 10-minute walk after meals. That walk acts like a sponge, soaking up the glucose from your food straight into your muscles. Number 2, reduce refined carbs at 1 meal per day. Just 1. It takes so much immediate pressure off your pancreas. And number 3, prioritize your sleep. Notice how none of these require a massive life overhaul. You don't have to suddenly spend 2 hours a day at the gym. These are micro habits, perfectly designed for a busy professional to support that overworked pancreas and reverse the trend entirely.
Just a quick timeout before we finish up. Remember, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes. It is not a medical diagnosis. If anything we talked about today hit a little close to home, maybe the thirst, the afternoon fatigue, or just the fast-paced lifestyle, please treat this as a gentle prompt. Partner with your doctor, ask them for that A1C test, and get the proper testing done.
So I'm going to leave you with a supportive challenge today. What are you going to do after your next meal? Are you going to go straight back to the glow of your monitor, or will you take just 10 minutes to walk outside and actively protect your metabolic health? The choice is entirely yours, and the power to reverse this silent warning is quite literally in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, if you found this valuable, you definitely won't want to miss our next topic. Join me next time as we uncover the 5 foods that silently raise blood pressure. You might be really surprised by what's currently sitting on your plate. See you then.